Welcome back to the deep dive. As always, you give us the sources and we dig in and try to pull out what really matters.
And today it's a classic. We're looking at the very opening of Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, Part 1, Chapter 1.
Yeah, the very beginning. That hot July evening, St. Petersburg. This young man leaving his tiny room.
But Garrett, yeah, it sets the scene immediately.
So for this deep dive, our mission really is to try and understand him, his mindset, his motivations, just from this opening chapter. What's driving him?
Okay, well, the first thing that really hits you is the atmosphere, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, that heat.
The heat, the closeness, the smells, the dust. Dostoevsky just lays it on thick. And he tells us straight up, this affects the young man's already overwrought nerves.
It's like the city itself is pressing in on him.
Yeah.
It feels almost malevolent.
It really does. And then his living space, this cupboard under the roof.
So small, it really emphasizes his isolation.
Exactly. And the debt, too, that constant pressure from the landlady he's trying to avoid.
But Dostoevsky makes a point about why he's avoiding her, right? It's not just being scared.
No, that's crucial. He says it's not cowardice, but this overstrained, irritable condition, this complete absorption in himself. It's deeper.
It stems from that internal state, that turmoil.
Which seems to paralyze him in some ways. He thinks about his fear of taking a new step, saying a new word.
All this inner chatter, as Dostoevsky calls it, but no action.
Right. And then that odd little reference, Jack the Giant Killer. What do you make of that popping up so early?
It's strange, isn't it? It hints at something. Maybe grandiose? Or is it just a fantasy, a way to find what he's thinking?
It could be both, I think. Maybe seeing himself as capable of something huge, something world-changing, even if it's dark. Or maybe just trying to dismiss the seriousness of his own thoughts, like it's just a plaything.
And all this internal drama is happening, well, physically. Well, he's not in great shape.
Not at all. Terrible clothes, rags even. Hasn't eaten properly for days.
Yet he's described as exceptionally handsome. Another contrast.
Yeah, but he clearly doesn't care about his appearance on the street. He just wants to be invisible. Though he hates running into people he knows.
Which again points to that withdrawal, doesn't it? Wanting to cut himself off.
Definitely. And then that incident with the drunk shouting about the hat.
Oh, yeah. Hey there, German hatter. And his reaction is pure terror.
All focused on the hat. This old, worn-out, noticeable hat.
And it sparks that realization in him. Trifles. Trifles are what matter.
Yeah.
That tiny detail could expose him.
Could spoil the whole plan, which tells us a lot about this unspoken plan, doesn't it?
And it has to be secret. It has to be something where being noticed is dangerous.
Absolutely. It implies something illicit, something that can't bear scrutiny.
And then we get the number. 730 steps.
To the old woman's place, he counted them before, almost like in a dream state.
Dreams he dismissed back then.
Yeah.
But now...
Now it's different. That hideous dream is becoming something else. An exploit to be attempted, a daring recklessness.
So this walk isn't just aimless wandering. He calls it a rehearsal.
Yes. A rehearsal for the project. The tension is building in him with every step. You can feel his excitement growing, mixed with the fear.
Which brings him to her house. Describe that setting again.
Okay, so it's on a canal, but also faces a street. Lots of working people, lots of coming and going. And he's relieved he doesn't see the doorkeepers.
Again, that need for anonymity.
Right. And the back staircase he chooses, dark, narrow. He actually likes it because it's obscure.
Somewhere to hide, almost.
Exactly. And then on the fourth floor, that moment of doubt hits him hard.
If I am so scared now, what would it be if I were really going to do it?
Such a raw moment. And then he finds out the German clerk on that floor moved out.
Leaving only the old woman.
Convenient.
Almost too convenient, maybe. It likely feels like another sign to him, pushing him forward.
Then the bell. That faint tinkle as though it were made of tin.
And it feels familiar somehow, which unsettles him even more. His nerves are just shot.
And the old woman appears. Her distrust. Peering through the crack, yeah. Then she opens up. And the description is just vivid. Tiny, withered, sharp eyes, oily hair.
The flannel rag around her neck, the mangy fur cape, even though it's boiling hot, and the caulking.
It's a really potent image, designed to make an impression, probably a negative one.
And he introduces himself, Raskolnikov, a student. Polite, almost hurried.
Trying to maintain that facade of normalcy despite everything churning inside him.
Then we see inside her flat. Yellow wallpaper, geraniums, but also quite sparse, old furniture.
Sofa, table, dressing table, cheap prints. but it's the cleanliness that stands out.
Lizaveta's work, he notes.
And his eyes immediately go to that cotton curtain hiding the other room, where the bed and chest of drawers probably are.
He's already casing the joint, essentially, noticing potential hiding places.
Absolutely. His observation is sharp, focused.
So the pretext, pawning the watch. His father's old silver watch.
With the globe engraved on it. But the whole transaction is tense. He mentions the previous pledge, the ring.
And then the bargaining. He asks for 4 rubles, sentimental value.
And she offers a ruble and a half.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It really shows her character and his desperation. He almost walks out.
Yeah, in anger. But then he remembers why he's really there, the other purpose.
So the pawning is just cover.
Definitely. Then she gets the keys from her right pocket on a steel ring.
And he notices one key in particular, large, notched.
Right. And he thinks, that's not for the chest of drawers I can see. It must be another chest, maybe a strong box.
He's filing away these details, security measures, layout.
Every little thing. It's clear his mind is working on a different level than just pawning a watch.
Then the final transaction, the interest calculation, the tiny amount. He gets 1 ruble, 15 kopecks.
Which probably just fuels his resentment, right? That feeling of being exploited.
It has to. And just as he's leaving, that question.
Ah, yes. Is Lizaveta? Is she usually in it this time? Trying to sound casual.
But the old woman picks up on it immediately. What business is she of yours? Very suspicious.
He's probing, trying to figure out if her sister will be an obstacle. Lizaveta is the unknown variable.
And her reaction confirms it was a sensitive point.
So he leaves, and then, boom, complete confusion hits him.
That outburst in the street. Oh, God, how loathsome it all is. And can I possibly...
It's nonsense, it's rubbish. It's the moral struggle erupting.
This wave of intense repulsion. He's disgusted by himself, by the whole idea.
It's visceral, and he just starts wandering aimlessly like a drunk man.
Which leads him, strangely, to a tavern, a place he's apparently never been before.
It feels like pure escapism. He's giddy, thirsty.
And he immediately tries to explain it away, right? It's just because I haven't eaten.
Yeah, blames it on the physical, orders a beer, feels instant relief, and thinks, okay, it was just physical derangement.
Grasping at straws for a rational explanation.
Totally. But even that momentary cheerfulness feels wrong to him. He has this dim foreboding that this mood isn't normal either. He can't escape his own head.
And the chapter ends with this glimpse of the tavern's other patrons. Drunks, an artisan, a retired clerk. This sort of grim slice of St. Petersburg life.
Yeah, it anchors him back in that bleak reality, maybe. Shows the kind of world he's moving through, even as he's lost in his own internal world.
Yeah.
It contrasts his intense intellectual struggle with this sort of everyday degradation.
So, wrapping up this first dive, what we have is a young man, Raskolnikov, trapped by poverty, but more so by this intense psychological pressure.
Definitely. He's contemplating some kind of project, rehearsing it, gathering details during this unsettling visit to the pawnbroker.
And then immediately wrestling with immense guilt and repulsion, trying to numb himself in a tavern.
It's a powerful setup. We see the internal conflict, the external pressures, the meticulous planning hiding under the surface, and the sheer volatility of his mental state.
Which leads us, as always, to you listening. What's your initial take on this young man, this thing like that he's considering? What do you think it is?
Yeah, what is this hideous dream turning into an exploit? And think about those small details, the hat, the bell, the key, how might they play out?
Consider that oppressive St. Petersburg atmosphere too, and how it might be shaping him, pushing him. This first chapter certainly leaves us with more questions than answers. Something to definitely chew on.